Hello, welcome to my channel called Brain Dweller. I called it that because I wanted a creative outlet to get anything out of my head that's churning in my head, whether it be creative crafts like painting, drawing, sewing, quilting, thrift flips, or I also like technology and philosophy, talking about that stuff. So I created a channel called Brain Dweller to get anything out of my head out into the world to share with people, hence the name Brain Dweller. So welcome to my channel. Lately most of my videos have been about sewing, and this video in particular will be about something I participated in called the Great Module Sew-Along, which was hosted by TomKat Stitchery and Stay Stitching here on YouTube. I will be sure to link their channels and some information about that in the description below. This video I'm going to show my wrap-up of everything I made for this challenge. The challenge consisted of sewing 3 tops, 2 bottoms, and a topper of some sort, like a sweater or a vest or a jacket. I went a little further than that. I have a couple extra tops in here than what it called for, and so I'm just going to share with you what I made, and I have some patterns in my lap of also what I made to correspond with the garments. And I can't decide if I'm going to overlay some pictures in post-editing of me wearing them, or if I'm going to do a montage at the end, but you will see looks about how I style these and mix and match them all together. And I think I'm going to also mix them with some thrifted items too, because the challenge did allow for that. So just to go ahead and get started, I want to share my bottoms with you that I made. I only made 2, and let me put these in. The first bottoms I made were these wide leg cropped jeans, and my camera has a habit of washing out colors pretty bad, so the true color of these are like a pastel peachy coral color, and I think that's a really cute color for summer. And so here they are. They're a little wrinkled. They're also a little too wide-legged for my taste, but I think they're going to shrink more, because I did pre-wash this denim, I did pre-wash it before sewing on hot, dried it on hot to try to get some pre-shrinkage going. But I've also been reading that denim will shrink even more, so hopefully, since these fit a little loose on me at this point and wide-legged, I'm thinking they'll shrink. And so I'm really happy with how the inside turned out. I think it's super cute. I just used some scrap quilting cotton I had to do the waistband and the fly, and I think that's a cute little detail on the inside. Also, I made a muslin for these at first. Oh, forgot to share the pattern. The pattern is, New Look N6643. I did view B, the cropped leg, of course, right here. I made a muslin first. The muslin needed to be taken in about 3 inches at the waist, so I accommodated for that with taking in the darts more in the back and at the side seams. And then it fit great, the muslin. However, when I transferred that to my fashion fabric, it was not the same for whatever reason, even though I did the same exact thing as what I did on my muslin. Of course, I take the time to do a muslin, and that's what happens. I never make muslins, and that's kind of why. It just never works out for me. So I had to think on the fly a little bit with this one, but I'm glad that happened, because it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because I taught myself or created this new technique for myself where since I needed to take in the waistband more, it just wasn't laying flat against my back. I just put a piece of elastic just in the back half here. So you can see it's kind of wrinkling a little bit. There's some elastic in there. And it just makes sure that it cinches in at the waist even more. It lays right where it's supposed to. And so I think in combination with that and possibly the shrinking that will go on later, I think these are going to look really great for the summer. They're cute right now. They're just like the tiniest bit too cropped-legged for my taste. So, moving on. Just zipped up for you so you get a better view. Okay, moving on. I have Love how these turned out. Some paper bag linen shorts. Oh, I forgot to mention also, sorry, one last thing. I have a video where I sew these and it shows you the trick for the elastic in the back half of the waistband. So if you're interested in viewing how I did that, I'll link the video below. Speaking of that, I also have a video for these, where I show a pattern hack I did to get this paper bag waistband effect. And the pattern I used is Simplicity 1377. I did view B. And view B calls for 2 casings in the waistband. Hopefully you can see that. I didn't do 2 casings, I did just one. I did the one nearest the waistband seam. So hopefully you can kind of tell what's going on there. These turned out really cute. They're lined with cotton batiste, so they're really lightweight and breathable for summer. And I read that lining linen with cotton batiste like this allows for it to not wrinkle as much. The linen, I mean. And it seems like that's kind of working because this linen is really not wrinkling that much. I mean, it is a little bit, and I like that effect of linen as it is, but sometimes it's a little too much. But I think the lining is helping that. And so, like I said, I also have a video for how I did that waistband. I will link it below. And again, the pattern was Simplicity 1377 for that. Okay? Moving on to tops. Those were the only bottoms I did. This was the first garment I made for this whole challenge. And it is a wrap top. This is actually the back. No, sorry, this is the front. This is the front. Right here, and then around the back, it crosses like that. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. It crosses in the back and then ties in the front on the waist, and it looks like this when worn. This is pattern New Look N6620. In retrospect for this, I completely chose the wrong fabric. I chose a woven, it was in the silky prints section of Joann's. And I've kind of learned my lesson about Joann's to not buy fabric there for clothes. Sorry, Joann's. But this is a lightweight polyester woven with some stretch. Where's the stretch? Where's the grain? Hold on. Should be here. Some stretch, just like a tiny bit. So I thought it would work, but it just feels really uncomfortable if I'm being honest. It feels like I'm wearing plastic. It's not too bad, but it feels a little constricting for summer is what I'm trying to say. Fabric choice aside, I think the cut, the style is really cute. And I actually had to grade between 2 sizes for this, which is very unusual because I have a normal size torso. So I had to grade between the top half. I cut a smaller size than the bottom half. I cut to a larger size. And so it fits me just a little more snugly on the top like I like. And if you want to see details for how I did that, I also have a video for this. I have 2 videos for this actually. It's a very in-depth like sewing vlog style tutorial for how I made this top. So I will link that also below. All in all, cute top. I mean, wrap top, you can't go wrong for the summer. Next up, I had some extra fabric from that. So on a whim, I purchased the Misty Camisole pattern from So Altered Style. And I don't know where the stain came from. I don't know if it was in the fabric, but it already has a stain, which is not unusual for me. I think a style like this is much better for that fabric because this is a looser, kind of flowier, more style. It's not as constricting as that one where you're wrapping around your body. So I think it's much more comfortable for something like this. I did the cross back strap option. I think it's really cute and it helps it stay on more. Not much else to say about this. First time doing a V-neck. I have some threads here I see I need to trim. First time doing a V-neck, and I'm pretty proud of myself for that one. I think it's really cute. Again, cute top for summer. This one I'm really proud of. This was also using the Misty Camisole sewing or So Altered Style pattern, but this one I did pretty intensive pattern hack, and I do have a video for this one about how I did it, but I'm really proud of myself because I'm the type of person for garment sewing that I really don't like to stray too far from a pattern because it just kind of intimidates me. I don't want to mess anything up and waste fabric. And I come from a quilting background, so I'm so used to like two-dimensional sewing, if you will. I don't have to accommodate for curves over the body. You just sew flat. It's super easy to me to understand how to manipulate quilting patterns, but for clothing still, it's a little bit of a guessing game for me. So this, I had some extra linen and cotton batiste, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna practice manipulating patterns, and this is how it came out, and I'm really happy with it. It is a crop top using that pattern. So what I did was I just basically left the top half of the pattern alone. I chopped it in half using a high-low gradient, so it's higher in the front when worn. I know you can't tell now. It's higher in the front when worn, and then lower in the back with a ruffle bottom. And it came out really cute. I'm really proud of myself for this one. Also lined in cotton batiste, just the top half, not the bottom. I left the bottom half as just linen so it would flow around more. And the edge is just a raw serged hem. I like how that came out. Really proud of myself for that one. This is going to get a lot of wear. Last for tops, this is also from Simplicity 1377. This is View D. It's got a little cut in the top, kind of tunic style. And this is also using linen and cotton batiste. So I spent $40 on that linen and cotton batiste, and I got 3 garments out of it. So a lot of people think sewing is expensive, but I personally find that if you're creative with how you cut and you can piece things together that you normally wouldn't think of, you can get more out of your money. This is how the top came out. I'm kind of indifferent to this one. I think it's super cute when tucked into something. If it's not though, I feel like it hangs kind of weird. And maybe I'll get some footage of me wearing it so you can see what I'm talking about. But I also have a really cute detail here for the bias. Isn't that cute? I think that's so cute. Just the pop of color. I don't have much to say about this. I'm kind of indifferent. Again, I think when it's tucked in, it's really cute. If not, it hangs weird, so maybe I will redo this hem and make it more of a crop top situation as well. But I wanted to wear it for work, which I need to tuck it in, so I don't know. There's that top. And then lastly is my topper. I didn't sew this, I'm going to be honest. The reason I didn't sew it is because this module is designed for spring and summer. Excuse me. And I didn't want to add, I have a lot of cardigans as it is. And for a summer where I live, I'm not going to be wearing a cardigan that much or a topper of any sort. And B, since I already have a lot, I didn't want to make a new one. I wanted to recycle what I had. So this is a thrifted item I already owned. This is a basic slouchy gray sweater. It's going to go with everything in there. So this is my topper. Thrifted items are allowed. Just basic knit gray sweater. Not much to say about that. But that is pretty much it. I had a wonderful time doing this because I was stuck in a sewing rut. I haven't sewed in a while. And just being able to have, I hate to say this, but the coronavirus was kind of helpful for this because I do work full time, and for the month of March I was set to have 2 trips for work, and I was a little scared about getting all this done, but because of Corona the trips got canceled, so I suddenly had all this time to finish all this. So I think in normal circumstances I would not have been able to sew all this, but just looking at this pile right here, like, I'm so impressed. I was able to sew all this minus the sweater in 2 months. Less than 2 months, because I think I started it midway through February. In total cost, I think, let's go through that. I remember I purchased this denim and this from Joann's for $40 altogether. I got 3 items out of that, and I still have some fabric left. I bet I could get like a pair of shorts from the denim still. I got 3 items out of the linen and cotton batiste, again $40. Sweater was thrifted, maybe $8 max. That's kind of high for me at a thrift store, but I can't quite remember. So that's $88 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 garments, plus the time and labor, but I don't think you should count that because you're learning new skills and you're making clothes designed for you, exactly what you want for your body shape, and you can't get that at a store. So, all in all, if you want to watch any of those videos I mentioned where I go in detail how I made these, I will link them below. I'll also have my measurements below and the sizes I cut for each garment in case you want to reference that as well if you plan to make it on your own. But other than that, I think I'm going to insert some montage footage now of, did I say that right? Montage footage of me styling these, mixing and matching them, and I think that's it. So I want to thank TomKat Stitchery and Stay Stitching for hosting this, because I think without knowing about this challenge I wouldn't have sewed anything for quite a while. So thank you for hosting this.